Hi, in this lesson, I will show you how we can use online inferencing for the machine learning model. So basically, we're going to deploy our machine learning model as an API. So you can send a request and receive a response in real time. How we can do that? So basically, you go to, make sure you are in the machine learning persona right here. And then you go to models. You have our model here. Click on this model. It's version 1 and it's in the production stage. Perfect. So we're ready to go. So use model for inference. You click here, use model for inference. And the real-time option is the option like selected. So I'm going to select the model version. Select version 1. It's the only one available anyway. I'm going to call it Titanic underscore model endpoint. It's a small, you can choose the compute size, small, medium, large, up to you to decide. Scale to 0 if there is no requests. Keep it checked. So I think it's already, I'm going to create the endpoint. Now, so what will happen here, Databricks will create a server. An endpoint is basically a server. So Databricks will create a server in the background, right, to serve this request. Luckily, I already created the model. We don't have to wait for this one to be created. If you click here, there is serving. There is one ready for me here. I already created. I'm going to leave this one until it starts, then I'm going to delete it. If I click on this one, which you already created, you'll see here, this is the place where you see the endpoint. And you'll see several metrics around how many API requests, what is the latency of the serving, request per rate, CPU, request error rate, CPU usages, memory usages, various metrics that you can see to track your model and how often people are requesting your model and so on. There's also some events here about the model itself, model event started, model ended, model updated, and so on, and some logs if you want to see some logs for some of the inputs. At the top here there is a query endpoint. So let's make a first API call to this model. So you click query endpoint, and this is what you will expect. So we need an input and output because it's an API. There is also a curl command if you wanted to use curl. There is a Python code you can copy and run it yourself. So let's do the simple one. Let's do a query endpoint from within the workspace. So what we're gonna do here, we're gonna send a JSON request. The JSON request have a simple format, and that is you create instances, call it instances, and it's an array of input. So you create a JSON object that have an object called instances, which is an array. Now inside this array, we're gonna put one row of the table without the survive column, basically the inputs. How we can do that? You can actually write it yourself, but luckily there is an API that we can use to do that for us. If you have your data frame, you can say data frame dot to pandas dot to JSON and use orient equal records. So this basically will create a JSON representation of your data frame. So so then all you need to do is just copy one of these records. So maybe pick this one, which is just one record. Gonna copy, gonna go back here, and we will add it inside the array. So the array is just one element. So basically I have instances. This is the array, passenger ID, P class, name, sex, male, age, whatever. So this is just an input to the JSON request, and then you send request and you got the prediction, right? So this is pretty straightforward, right? You send the request, you get the response like an API. But let's do it from outside. Let's do it from within Databricks. Let's do it from outside. For that, I will use Postman, which is a very famous API management, API request tool, right? So I'm gonna create here. If you are in maybe APIs, I'm gonna actually create like an endpoint. So click here. You need the URL, right? So let's go to the Databricks and get the URL. You see the URL is here in your endpoint. So get, I'm gonna copy, I'm gonna go to Databricks. Here I'm gonna put the URL here, Control V. So we got the URL. Now the URL, we need authorization, right? So what is the kind of authorization? We're going to use a bearer token. So if you click from here, there's a bearer token. So we need a token, right? Luckily, I have created a token before. How you can do that? Let me show you how you can create a token. In Databricks, right? In your Databricks, you just go to user settings, and there is create new token, right? I'm going to delete this one. Remove this token. Create new token. I'm going to call it Postman. Always name the token for the usage, or actually, let's call it Titanic endpoint token. Then let's make it live for 1 day. Generate. Here is the token. Okay, I'm gonna copy. Done. So I'm gonna go to Postman. I'm gonna paste the token. Remove this one. I'm gonna paste my token. Right. So I bought the token. Now let's put the body. Again, let's use row data. Let's make it JSON. Let's write it. So I'm gonna write instances, and it's an array. It's an array from the JSON one row of the table. Let's pick one row. Go to table here. Let's pick one row. Here you go, copy. Then we'll go to Postman and put this record in here. Okay, let's beautify this. So basically we have this row here, instances. It's an array with one passenger here without the survived table, right? This is the URL. We added the token, everything good to go. Actually, it should be a post, not a get, because we're sending something to the server. So posting something to the server. Let's send, and you got the prediction right there. Prediction 0. So this poor person was not going to survive. So that's pretty much it. So now you have created an endpoint that receives requests from your clients or your customers, and you give them back the response. And this is all done from Databricks. We deploy the server or the endpoint, we got the responses, we share the token with the customers and everything. And now this is Postman. You can send it response and requests and everything. So that was pretty much it for this lesson. So thank you, and see you in the next lesson.